Super Mario Brothers. Oh man. Oh shit. It's Super Mario Brothers. Ladies and gentlemen, it's fucking Super Mario Brothers, dude. How are y'all doing tonight? It is a very cozy, nearly autumn night. I think we're nearly autumn. I'm recording this end of September. We might actually be in autumn. The old month of autism. Season of autism, I should say. I'm just doing a chill late night fucking playthrough of Super Mario Brothers. I've never beaten this game before in my whole life, so I think that counts. I think that considers. I think I am I'm a fake gamer, is I think what you could call me. Because I've never beaten this game, and I feel like this is one of those games that you should beat and you have to have beaten if you. Oh, excuse me, if you want to consider yourself a true gamer. So I'm gonna try and beat this whole video game in one sitting. And if I can't do it in one sitting, then I'm gonna stop at a good point and we're gonna come back to this. I'm not gonna stop this until I have beaten this game. Warpless. I mean, obviously I've beaten this game with warps. You can play like, what is it, like 7, 8 levels to beat this game with warps. And there's 32 levels in the game, I want to say, if you don't use warps. So basically you don't play most of the game if you play this using warp zones. I'm going to shut the fuck up and stop rambling, and we're just going to play the goddamn game. How does that sound? Alright, let's do this. So I guess while I'm playing this, I will talk about... I just realized I don't have game audio. What am I doing? Hey, there we go. Game audio. Alright, so this is a classic. This is a childhood frickin' classic. I'm gonna turn my TV down a little bit. This is a game that I think most people, most Nintendo fans have probably played. At least a little bit, whether on on actual console or on emulator, virtual console, Switch Online. I feel like most human beings that play video games, that play Nintendo games, have probably touched this game before. And I think a lot of people that probably don't play Nintendo games much anymore have probably at least tried this game. I don't know why I'm talking like people don't know what the fuck this is. This is my first video, so I'm gonna definitely be horrible at commentary. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Talking to yourself's weird. Talking to yourself is definitely something I'm gonna have to get used to. So, there's 1-1. It's first level. I kind of just breezed past that. You know what 1-1 is. You know 1-1. You know, I don't have to explain it. I don't have to go fucking Ego Raptor, Sequelitis, explain every little section of that level. You know how it is. So here we are in the underground. I'm tired, man. I just got home from a long day of work. Had a little conversation with my roommate about just wanting to do this. I've been wanting to do YouTube videos for, geez, 15 years-ish? 15 years ago, 2010. Maybe a little longer than 15 years. And I'm finally doing it. I guess I'm sitting down and just like, I just needed to get over that hump of putting something out. I just needed to get just a video, something easy, just so I could say that I had a video out on YouTube, that I uploaded something, just to get that out there. But I think everything's gonna get a lot easier when I actually want to do like more kind of produced content. I don't even know if I'm gonna edit this. I literally might just like raw dog this, throw it up on YouTube in full. But yeah, no, I'm I'm a guy who's wanted to do YouTube videos for a long-ass time. But I've been, I don't know, a combination of, like, not having the equipment when I was a kid and not being able to afford the equipment, never having a computer that was really good enough, not having a capture card, and then, like, when I got to be an adult, I just got, like, sidetracked with work and school and got really burnt out and shit, and COVID sucked. I'm just making excuses, I guess. There's really no reason I shouldn't have been doing this earlier, but I'm doing it now. I'm tired of having not said that I tried, so here we go. There's 1-3 done, so we're heading towards the castle now. End of World 1. 1/8 of the way through this game, you could say, even though it's probably not going to be that way in terms of the length of this video. Some of the other worlds are going to be a lot... Oh my god, what am I doing? Jesus. That was awful. Anyway, some of the other worlds are going to be a lot harder. I'm all over the place here. I've just got a lot to say, I guess, doing this for the first time. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking... Jeez, man. I think I'm talking too much. I need to lock in. Anyway, oh, jeez. Lag spike there. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay, you know what? Whatever. I'm alive. Yeah, so... Oh, Jesus Christ. Am I really gonna get a game over in World 1? This is one of those games that doesn't have passwords or, like, a save feature at all, so when I game over, I am going back... Oh, it's a game over, isn't it? Or do I have one? Yeah, fuck. I'm going back to the start of the world, so... This is not a very good display of gaming. I'm pretty sure if I game over at any point, I go back to the start of the game. Do I have that correct? This is one of those one and done situations where, we'll show this off, hang on. If you didn't know. If you somehow didn't know you could go down that pipe and find all these coins. There you go. Yeah, this is one of those games where if you game over at any point, you're just done. That's just the end of the game. So I really don't want to get to, like, World 8 or World 7 and then game over and then have to start this all over again. But you know what? I'm not a true gamer if I don't sit down, lock in, and beat this shit. So we're gonna sit down, we're gonna lock in, and we are gonna beat this video game. I'm a complete Nintendo dork, so I could probably talk your ear off about this game and how it came to be, like, on the development side of things. Let me think here. This is obviously Shigeru Miyamoto is the brains behind this title. Legendary game designer. Sort of controversial in the modern era for some Paper Mario sticker star related reasons, among other things. But I think you can't really deny the man is a creative visionary at the very least. This was designed to be basically the top, like basically the best thing you could make on Famicom, which is the Japanese name for the NES, if you didn't know. Basically, back in the day, before the Famicom Disk System came out and gave developers a lot more storage space to work with when it came to games, this game was on a cartridge, and back then they didn't have, like, NES cartridges or Famicom cartridges were built with the ability to be expanded. Oh my god. And these games were made before people started making expansion chips, because they were really expensive at the time. So it didn't make sense to put, oh my god, expansion chips into Famicom cartridges at the time, because it would have driven the cost up for manufacturing, which would have driven the cost up for the game quite a bit. So this game was made using the stock Famicom hardware the stock specs of what the NES and Famicom can do with no add-on chips. And this was made to kind of show like what that spec is capable of in its final form, basically. Like, this is what the NES, the basic specs of the NES were sort of building to, was a game like this. And, yeah. And so, right after this game came out, or a few months after this game came out, Nintendo released the Famicom Disk System in Japan, which used kind of a floppy disk type thing just to have their games. Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold as well. When the disk system came out and disks were used, that gave developers a lot more storage space. Like, it didn't increase the capabilities of the specs for the console really at all. Didn't really allow for them to make bigger types of games in the sense of, like, the hardware, but in terms of how much more... There we go, there's the Underworld one. In terms of how much more sort of disk space compared to a cartridge, like, cartridge ROMs were very small at the time. Whereas if you were making a game on the disk system, you had a ton more space to work with, because floppy disks had a shit ton of space compared to cartridges at the time. So developers were then able to make these, like, massive games, even though they were using the same, like, standard spec. They were just able to make bigger games using that same spec because of the increased storage. But the disk system kind of, like, fizzled out over time. It didn't really last a whole lot of time, because memory got really cheap for cartridges. So there came a point where, like, cartridge games were getting to have Famicom Disk System levels of size on a cartridge, which was, like, at the time when the Disk System first came out, was unheard of. So eventually Nintendo sort of discontinued the Disk System and started making cartridge games again. On top of that, those like, expandable kind of memory bank chips and stuff, the mapper chips as they're called, were created, and that allowed for sort of, like, even more possibilities with making Famicom games. So yeah, cartridges ended up kind of being the thing to do, and that's where, like, Mario 3 was made, was originally designed for a cartridge. So you look at this game and then you look at Mario 3, and they use they're on the same console, they both use cartridges, and they're like night and day. Like, Mario 3 is like, oh my god, dude, was that game over? Shit. Alright, here's where we see if it brings you back to 1-1. It brings you back to 1-1. Bro, we're gonna be here for a fucking minute, dude. Alright, lock in. Yeah, so just kind of a little history lesson there on how, at the time, this was seen as the best you could do on a cartridge, and then just a few short years later, it was massively outdone by this game's threequel. So, I don't know, probably way too nerdy, and I think a lot of you probably just clicked off from all that, but if you didn't click off and you're still here, cool, thank you. I appreciate you sticking around. You're gonna get a lot of this, probably. I'm a fucking dork. So, yeah. Yeah, so, pretty cool game, pretty revolutionary game. I think I can pretty safely say that without garnering any hate. I think I can say that this game is arguably one of the most revolutionary in the history of games. Maybe up there with, like, Pac-Man, Minecraft. I don't know, Fortnite? Is Fortnite revolutionary, or is it popular? Those are two different things. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think Fortnite's probably not a revolutionary video game. It's alright. It's a good game. But I don't think it has the same, like, cachet for shaping video games like this does. Yeah. God, I hope I will definitely be getting better at commentary the more I do this. This is probably so rough. Yeah, so I've been wanting to make videos for a while, and I was like always getting hung up on what my first video should be, you know, what the first thing I put out is, and that's annoyingly been one of the biggest hurdles for me putting anything out, is just this overthinking of what I need to do, what I need to put out first. Like, it's gotta be this big statement making thing. And I was talking with one of my roommates, my good buddy, one of my best friends in the world, man, my buddy Mike. And he's like, you just gotta, just try putting something out simple. Just like, don't overthink it, and just like do something. Low effort, little to no editing. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think for where I am right now in life, that sounds perfect. And I had a sort of a breakthrough there. And I was like, alright, well, what's a quick thing I can do? He says, having game overed twice now. On my way to my third. On my way to my third. This is horrendous. But yeah, I was thinking, like, what's one thing that I could do quick? And I was like, let me flip on my capture setup. Bruh, this is embarrassing. I'm a fake gamer. Fuck. I was thinking I'd flip on my capture setup and just record myself playing Super Mario Brothers and commentating over it. And I don't know how long I'll go for. Maybe an hour, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. We'll see. How long have I been going for so far? 17 minutes? Not bad. Alright, I'll probably, you know what, I think I can go for like an hour or something. We'll see how far I get. I know there's a code when I game over. That's not an if, that's a when. There's a code. Jesus Christ. What is my problem, man? There's a code to respawn. Instead of restarting the whole game, there's a code to respawn at the first level of a world. And I may need to do a quick Google search and remind myself of what that code is, because this is not going good. This is horrendous. I'm not very good at video games. I think I'm finding out tonight is I actually suck at video games. But I like them, so I think that's all that counts. You know what? I am gonna Google search what that code is, because I really don't want to be stuck on. I really don't want to show you guys World 1 over and over and over again. So we're gonna look up what this code is real quick. What the continue code is. Continue code. I don't want your AI mode, Opera. Hold the A button while pressing start. From the last world where you lost a life. Oh, it's beautiful. That is bloody beautiful. That is. Oh, fucking perfect. Excellent. We're gonna use the hell out of that, man. Because no doubt there will be more game overs tonight. So yeah, God, I feel like I have simultaneously so much to say, and I'm just not coming up with it right now. But this happens. I don't think anybody's perfect at this the first time around. So I gotta be a little easier on myself. Also, for some reason, I'm playing this on a... Let's say I'm playing this on a, air quotes, legitimate NES. Air quotes. Legitimate NES. And, I've realized that, my legitimate NES, it turns out I do not own a copy of Super Mario Brothers on my legitimate NES. But I do own a copy of the Famicom Disk System reissue of this game, which is no different. It's the exact same game. They just re-released it because Nintendo did these like old disc rewriter kiosks where you could go into like Japanese convenience stores with one of your old Famicom Disk System games, and you could pay like $5 at one of these kiosks to have the cartridge, have your disc rewritten with another game. So if you got tired of, like, say you bought like The Legend of Zelda on disc, and you were tired of playing it, and you wanted a different game, but you didn't want to pay like $30, 25, $30, whatever it was for like a new disc. You could walk into one of these kiosks at these convenience stores, and you could put your disc in, and you could have them rewrite a completely different game for like $5. So it was a lot cheaper than buying a whole new disc. And it would erase your old game, but you'd get a whole new game on it. And then you could pay like an extra $1 if you wanted the manual and like the cover art. And towards the end of the disc system's life, these disc kiosks got a bunch of old original Famicom games that you could burn to your disc. And this was one of them. Ugh, excuse me. I'm exhausted. And yeah, this was one of the games you could write to the disc, and it would only take up one side, which was cool. Like, the discs were two-sided, so you could put a game on like the A side of the disc, and then if the game was small enough, you could even fit a second game on the B side. So some games would take up both like the A side and the B side, but some smaller games, like the original Famicom titles, would only take up one side, so you could actually write two completely different games to a single disc, which was super cool. So if you were a gamer on a budget, oof, that was awful. If you were a gamer on a budget at the time, you could get hella games for not a lot of cash. It's kind of a shame we never got the disc system in North America. I think that would have been pretty cool. I get why they didn't do it. Cartridges, by the time the NES released in North America, cartridge ROMs were sort of cheap enough where it really didn't make sense to do the disc system in North America. So, yeah. I feel like I was going somewhere with this. Shit. I lost my train of thought completely. Super Mario Brothers disc system. Oh, my legitimate NES that I have. I don't own the cartridge version of Super Mario Brothers, so I'm playing the disc system version, which is not a problem because it is one-to-one exactly the same as the cartridge game. There's like a little like loading screen at the very start. Oh my dear lord. Can I catch a break? Apparently no. So this is one of the games that I'm just gonna skip the mushroom, I think. It's not worth it. Yeah, this is one of the games that you could get on disc system, and this is the version that I'm playing. So that was the... Oh my... Dude! Even with the continue code, I'm over here sucking dick. Man. Oh, you don't have anything to say? Just start, like, fucking humming the theme song, I guess. I'm excited, man. This is, both that I'm doing this as my first video, I feel like it's very fitting, because this has been a game I've played since I was a wee lad. And, I feel like it's fitting that another thing, like, I played this game when I was a kid, and I wanted to do YouTube videos when I was a kid, and now I'm here beating, like, a game that I played the shit out of in my childhood, while fulfilling a childhood dream of mine, and putting content out there. So I feel like that's very poetic and very fitting. Pretty happy with that. So this is a cool moment. I'm just hoping I can actually beat this game, and I'm not stuck in like Baby World 1 hell. This very well might be the worst Super Mario Brothers. I think that's what I'm gonna call this video. The worst Super Mario Brothers 1 playthrough you've ever seen. Your grandmother could probably play this game better than I can. So I'm a young lad. I'm a younger guy. I'm 24, which I guess is, maybe I'm Unk. Maybe if you're watching this and you're like 16, you're gonna comment and be like, oh, hi Unk, what's up Unk? You're fucking Unk, man. It's like, alright, I guess I am, huh? I guess I am. But, yeah, I'm a 2001 baby, so I grew up, my first console was the Wii, so I sort of grew up with that era of gaming, and then I got, kind of over time, I got like a DS, Wii U, 3DS, those were my childhood consoles, mostly Nintendo stuff. I didn't start really collecting other consoles until kind of like my tween years. I was like 12, 11, 12 when I got my PlayStation 1, which was my first non-Nintendo console. Anyway, so I grew up with not this era of games, so if I'm particularly bad, that's my excuse, is that is that this game is Unk for me. So if you're calling me Unk, then this is like Turbo Unk. The people that grew up with this game, if you're like sitting talking about how like Fortnite is your childhood, and like how I'm Unk for saying Wii Sports is my childhood, then like look at the like 50-year-old that says this game is his childhood, and call him like Turbo Unk. Turbo Unk. I'm just imagining, if anyone's seen the anime Dan Da Dan, you'll know there's a character called Turbo Granny. And I'm just imagining, what if Turbo Granny was Turbo Unk? I wasn't going anywhere with that. I guess it was just a more, I don't know, an observation for all you weebs out there. All you fucking weeaboos. All you anime fans. Oh my god, I just need to, like, not think about the game, apparently. And I can I can beat the whole fucking thing. So anyway, yeah, I grew up with a Wii. So I think the first time I played... I don't remember. It's weird, I have no memory of when I first played this game. I know that we had a family friend, and I would go over to my aunt's house, and she would be there sometimes. And one of the times she was over, she brought an NES and an N64. And I think it was the first time I'd ever seen an NES in person. And she had all 3 Super Mario Brothers games, so I was mind blown. Because I knew about the NES, and I wanted one so bad. I knew about classic games. But I never, I was a kid, I didn't have any money. I couldn't afford one, and retro games were super cheap at this point. This was like late 2000s, so the retro game market was like not what it is today. Nowadays, you want a working NES, you're gonna have to shell out like, I don't even know, $200 at least for like a working one and like maybe a game and like a shitty third-party controller. But oh shit, okay. But back in the day, you could get an NES with 2 controllers, a zapper. I distinctly remember this. I'd go on eBay and I'd look at NES listings, and you could get an NES, 2 controllers, a zapper, all the cables, and Mario Duck Hunt, Mario 2, and Mario 3 for $40 Canadian. Which was, like, could you imagine that nowadays? Could you imagine finding an NES, like a really good condition NES, 2 first-party controllers, a zapper, and like 3 of the best games for $40? Like, nah, not anymore. So yeah, my family friend, when I was over at my aunt's house, she had an NES with all 3 Marios, and I was like, I have to play Super Mario Brothers. Like, this is something I have to do. And so I played that, but what I'm wondering is, was that first, or did I play the little, like, 45-second demo of it on Smash Brothers Brawl first? Because those would have been around the same time. Those would have been around, like, 2008, 2009, maybe, that I would have first played this game. And then eventually I got it on the 25th anniversary Mario All-Stars that they did, which I lent that to my cousin and then I never got it back. So, like, I got the game for Christmas 2010, and then, like 2 months later, I was at my grandmother's house, and my cousin was like, oh, this is super sick. And I was like, oh, do you want to, like, you can, like, have this for, like, a bit. You can lend this for me. You can lend this. I'll give it to you for a bit. And he's like, cool, yeah, that's awesome. I'll play this. This is sick. And I never got it back. And I think he still has it. So, yeah, this was like 2011, early 2011, I guess. And I don't really want it back at this point. Oh, is this the maze? I think this is the... Oh, no, it's not. Oh, my God. But yeah, no, eventually, like, that's how I owned Super Mario Brothers, is when I got All-Stars. And then, like, shortly after I, like, gave it to him and lost it, I ended up getting it on Wii Virtual Console, and then I got it on 3DS Virtual Console as well, because I was a 3DS ambassador. I was one of the people that bought the 3DS in its launch window when it was $250, and then a few months later, because the 3DS was not selling, Nintendo was like, alright, maybe it shouldn't be $250, so they dropped the price down to $170 in, like, August of 2011, and it came out in March. And for all the people that bought it within those first, like, 6 months, they're like, oh, we're sorry, here's 10 free NES games and 10 free Game Boy Advance games that you can have on your 3DS. Enjoy. And, I mean, that was cool. Like, it was, like, I didn't care. It was a birthday gift, so I didn't pay for that 3DS. So it was no skin off my back. I just got 20 free games. And so that's how I experienced a lot of, like, early NES stuff, a lot of black box era NES games. Because that had, like, Super Mario Brothers and Ice Climber, and I think Excite Bike was on there, and Kirby's Adventure, I want to say? Maybe not? What games were on that? NES Open Tournament Golf was on that. That's a great game. But that was really, like, that was one of my first experiences with, like, a lot of NES, a lot of early NES stuff. Because I didn't really... By the time that I got my Wii connected to the internet and on the shop channel and stuff, and I saw all the games you could download, I didn't want to spend my Wii points on NES games. I wanted to get, like, Bit Trip Runner and Cave Story and, like, World of Goo. So I spent my precious few Wii points on not a lot of Virtual Console stuff. And the Virtual Console stuff I did get was usually SNES and N64. Because I thought those games were a little more substantial. So that's how I played, like, Paper Mario and Mega Man X and Donkey Kong Country and Mario 64 was on the Wii. First time I played Mario 64 was on the Wii Virtual Console. So, yeah, a lot of good memories on the Wii. I still have that Wii. The disc drive... Oh, this is where you can get infinite lives. I don't know how to do it. Shit. Yeah, I still have that Wii, but the disc drive doesn't work super well. So I may film some stuff on that old Wii. I may take a tour of maybe the Me channel and all the channels that I have, because that Wii is probably on its last legs, and I can't imagine it'll be working for much longer. So I should probably do that soon if I'm gonna do it. That'll be a cool trip down memory lane. But yeah, a lot of really good memories on the Wii. And, yeah. Yo, check this out, dude. I'm freaking gaming now. Alright, 3-2 done. So I think maybe the sauce here, maybe all I had to do to actually make progress in this game was to just not talk about the game and talk about personal anecdotes. So I might as well keep doing that. Just, I guess, recount my history as a gamer while I play, you know, one of the most important video games ever. So, the 3DS Ambassador Program. So you got the 10 NES games, but you also got 10 Game Boy Advance games. And the cool thing about that is they were like, oh, eventually all of these games, all these Ambassador games, are going to be released to anybody. So like anybody can download them, they're just going to cost money. Obviously, like a virtual console service. So eventually they did NES games for Virtual Console, and all 10 of the NES games that Ambassadors got did eventually go up for sale for like $5 each. The Game Boy Advance games never did. The 3DS never got Game Boy Advance Virtual Console. So the only way, without modding your 3DS, to play GBA games was to have the Ambassador titles. And that was, those were some special games, man. They picked some bangers. I think a lot of those Ambassador games are probably some of the most, like, foundational games to me. As, in terms of what I like games, like, kind of aesthetics-wise, gameplay-wise. Excuse me. Dude, they picked some of the best games on Game Boy Advance for that service. It was, like, Wario Land 4, which is just one of the best games ever made. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, which I adore. I almost just died there. Oh, this is the Lakitu level. Shit. Oh, no. Wario Land 4, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, frickin' Fire Emblem Sacred Stones, which was my first Fire Emblem. And if I didn't play that, I wouldn't have played Awakening, which is one of my favorite games of all time, and kind of got me into, like, strategy RPGs for a while. I had a big Fire Emblem phase when I was a young teen, into, like, I don't know, I kind of stopped around, like, 16, 17. Let's see, Amazing Mirror, Wario Land 4. I'm going to try to remember all the games. Mario Advance 3, Yoshi's Island, which was cool. Not one of my... What the fuck was that? Did you see that? Yo! Bullshit. Oh, okay, that's how you do it. I saw 1-1 show up at the top, and I was like, oh, did I fuck up the code? Yeah, Mario Advance 3 Yoshi's Island. Not one of my favorite games. I should go back and play Yoshi's Island and record it at some point. Because that's another one that I've never beaten. And I feel like I should beat it. Because it is a good game. I just am not... I don't know, there's something about the way the Yoshi games play that I've never super connected with. Which is weird, because Yoshi's my favorite video game character of all time. But yeah, it was Yoshi's Island, Wario Land 4, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Fire Emblem Sacred Stones. Dude, what else was on that? Oh man, I'm cooked. Oh man. I'm thinking too hard. I'm using too much of my brain here. Fucking... WarioWare! The first WarioWare, which I had played Smooth Moves before WarioWare GBA, and I loved that game. So getting to play the first WarioWare was like super, super fucking cool to me. And that's like half of them. What were the other half? What was the other games? F-Zero Maximum Velocity, which was like not my thing. Mario Kart Super Circuit, also not super my thing. I'm not big on the sprite racers that Nintendo's done. I find a lot of them control pretty dated and in not an amazing way. And fucking... That's like 7. That's like 7 games. So I'm missing... I feel like I'm missing another couple like obvious ones that were on that. Dude, I'm looking it up, man. This is something that I am gonna distract myself with. I'm looking up what games are on this thing. I own most of these games physically now, so I think I can just pull up my own collection and remind myself. Game Boy Advance. Minish Cap. Oh my god, Minish Cap and Metroid Fusion. How did I forget? Jimmy, how did I forget those games, Jimmy? What the fuck? Fucking, oh my god, Legend of Zelda Minish Cap is... Ooh, am I gonna piss people off by saying this? Minish Cap is the best 2D Zelda. No cap. I can't think of another 2D Zelda that I've played that I enjoyed more than Minish Cap. And Metroid Fusion is the game that made me fall in love with Metroid. And, yeah, if I didn't play Fusion, I wouldn't have played Super Metroid. And Super Metroid is... Oh, fuck. Super Metroid is one of my favorite video games of all time. It's top 5, for sure. Shit, dude. Oh, man. Okay. A. Press start. Dude, I get, like, worried. I get so worried doing that code that it's gonna mess up and send me all the way back. Shit. Yeah, so... Dude, like, Metroid Fusion, Fire Emblem, Zelda, WarioWare, Wario Land, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. That's my shit, bro. GBA has some of the best fucking games ever. Dude, oh my god, did I die to that same Spiny all 3 times? Okay, here's what I think. Here's what I think we're gonna do. I'm gonna beat World 4. I'm not gonna stop the recording until I beat World 4. And then when I beat World 4, we're gonna split this off into a part 2. If I beat World 4, because holy shit. What's gonna happen first? Am I gonna beat World 4 or, like, pass out from sleep deprivation? What's happening here? Alright. I think this is one of those levels where you can pretty well just kind of run through it, and the Lakitu is never really a problem. Dude, I'm fucking gaming now. Yo! I kind of gamed the fuck out there. Oh, dude, you know what's another fucking NES game I gotta play? I gotta record, I should say. Mega Man 2. That's a game I could play over and over and over again without getting tired of it. That's a banger video game there. Like, I don't find a lot of NES stuff. Me being a zoomer, you know, a 2000s fucking broccoli-haired zoomer, I don't find a lot of NES stuff really holds up super well in current day. Like, it plays okay. This game plays okay. But, like, you gotta admit that it's definitely aged a little bit in the grand scheme of platformers. And I think Mega Man 2 has as well, but that's one of the first games, that's one of the earliest games I can say that, like, does not fucking age for me. That's a game I can play at any point and I don't get, like, pissed off by how it plays and controls. And there's no, like, weird, stupid, like, bullshit stuff that you'd need, like, a walkthrough for to know, unless you knew the game inside and out. And a lot of games in this era had that. They had stuff where, like, if you didn't buy the strategy guide, or if you didn't have a friend that knew what to do, you'd just have moments in these games where you'd just, like, slam your head against a brick wall for, like, 20 hours trying to figure out what to do. Because the answer's some of the dumbest stuff in gaming. Like, early game stuff makes no sense sometimes. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of NES stuff just, like, does not click with me. But Mega Man, all of the Mega Mans on NES are fantastic games. One's a little hard to go back to because of the Yellow Devil, mainly just the Yellow Devil. The rest of Mega Man 1 I can handle pretty well, but the Yellow Devil is some bullshit. Ooh, shit. Let me get the teeter-totters all lined up here. This is a fun level. You know what? I am enjoying my time with this game a lot more than I thought I would. This is genuinely been like, just like relaxing and sitting and recording and talking about life while I play Super Mario Brothers is honestly kind of therapeutic. Oh, this is the maze. Oh, I don't remember the layout, bro. I don't know the order. Okay. Alright, I guess the top was correct. And then it's like bottom, I think? Whoa! Yeah, okay, swag. Alright, Bowser. Alright, Bowser. Fuck! Ah! Please tell me that wasn't my last life. Okay. Alright, okay. I'm getting a little nervous now. So apologies if I lost my train of thought completely and stop talking, because I'm just trying to lock the fuck in right now. I just want to beat this. Whoa! Forgot about that fire bar. Alright, Bowser. Come on! Yes! Oh, let's fucking go, dude. Well, I'm at least 50% of a gamer right now, because I just beat half of this video game. So, I've been recording for 47 minutes almost. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save a state here on my legitimate NES. How do I do that? Is it like up and... Where's the save? Can you save? Can I not save? Save state slot. Save state. Save state, right? Yeah. And then if I like move and load. Oh, not that. Restore state. Yeah, okay, sick, that works. Okay, yeah, so assuming that that save state holds when I turn the power off, then yeah, I'm gonna stop the recording here and maybe watch through it, see if it's even remotely publishable, and if I decree that it is, then this will be uploaded. So if you're hearing this and you're not me, then I uploaded it, and that's pretty cool. I've got a video up on YouTube now, so hi. I am very happy to finally be doing this. Dude, this is sick. Okay. Alright, so, part 2. I'm going to do another one of these. I'm going to record, basically, I guess, World 5 through World 8. Hopefully. And fingers crossed I don't get too mad, because the second half of this game is probably going to be a little harder than the first. And by a little harder, I mean a lot harder. So, yo, if you watched all this, that's fucking sick. I can't believe you sat through this. I appreciate it, though. And if you want to subscribe and watch more of this when I make more, I think I'm going to start uploading pretty frequently. Like, you know, if I can do maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, I think that's going to be a pretty good upload schedule for me if I can hold myself to that. And I will try to hold myself to that because I'm enjoying this. So I'm going to stop with the rambling and let you get on with your life. About a 50-minute recording. This is crazy. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you really enjoyed it. And this is me. I guess what am I, Seal 64 is what I decided on? So this is ya boy. This is Seal 64. Signing off. Take her easy. Have a good night. Love you all.